All right, so we are going to start in a standing position towards the back edge of our mats. You can start anywhere that you like, but I just say that so that it's for, ease of transition. So we get to the next place efficiently and effectively. So if you like, starting at the back edge of your mat, we're just going to shift the weight over to your left foot and then shift your weight over to your right foot. So that's all you got to do, just that nice transfer of weight, but let it be kind of generous. So as you transfer over, maybe your heel picks up, and then as you transfer over to the other side, the other heel picks up, and just kind of tune in, get a sense of, in this generous movement pattern, how are you feeling this morning? How is your body feeling physically? How are you feeling emotionally? And how are you feeling energetically? So did you get enough sleep? Have you eaten good meals this week? And take one more little transfer of weight side to side, and then we're going to stay over to the left side. So shift over to your left, keep your right big toe on the ground, take a couple of circles with your right ankle in one direction, and then take that ankle and circle it the other way. Nice. And then set that foot down, shift your weight onto your right foot, pick your left heel up, big toe stays on the ground, circle your ankle in one direction, and circle your ankle the other way. Awesome. And then set that foot down, and we're keeping that wider position with the legs. We're going to take it into some light shirt sleeve twists. So start by just gently tapping your hands hip to hip, allowing a nice little twist to come into your spine. And then if you like, let your hips and your heels move with you. So as you rotate, maybe your back heel picks up and then switch over to the other side. Cool. Take one more time each side, or even yourself out, and then come back to center with kind of a soft heaviness. So soften the knees, almost as if you're trying to sit your butt down into an edge of a stool. So soft knees, soft and heavy in the hips, soft and heavy in the arms. Try to let go of any efforting there. And then if you can, close your eyes down with your soft knees, soft hips, tune down into your feet. If you have fallen arches, just maybe take a moment to lift your arches up, just kind of engage your feet slightly so you feel nice and grounded and heavy in your feet as well. And then in this softer, heavier position, take a nice, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. 2 more cycles of breath here. Open your eyes, and then just before we move away from this place, just kind of get a sense of your surroundings. Notice the walls around you, the floor beneath you, get a sense of the ceiling above you, and then just offer up a little gratitude for the safe space that you have to work in. Cool. And then when you feel ready, we're going to come down into extended child's pose or child's pose, whichever variation you like better. I personally like the knees wide, so there's plenty of space for my belly and my chest, but come down in any way that you like. Knees wide or knees close together, big toes together, either way. And then sitting your butt back to your heels, bringing your torso forward, reaching your arms out nice and long. And then once you've found that position with the arms, soften into that position. So rather than that energetic reach through the arms and through the fingers, soften your hands, soften your elbows, soften your forehead down. Work out all your little wiggles. Make sure that everything feels like it's really nice and comfortable, and you could settle into this position for a few moments. And then once you feel like you're there, just see if you can tune into the natural rhythm of your breath here without trying to force or change the breath. In this position here, if your forehead is touching the ground, if it feels available, you might choose to just gently rock your head side to side, bringing a light massage into the forehead. If you're wearing glasses and they get in the way, take a moment to take them off. And if your forehead doesn't reach the floor, no worries. You can always stack your fists, place your forehead on your fists, and then it'll be a slightly lesser turn, but gently turn your head side to side here. Take 1 or 2 more turns of the head, and then let that come back to stillness. Take 1 or 2 more nice deep breaths here, just allowing a little time to get into the hips, soften into the low back. And then before we move away from this place, just take a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, lifting up just slightly so there's space to move, we're going to walk over to the left. Take a little side stretch. So walk your hands over and off the left side of your mat. Maybe let your right hand stack on top of your left. Let your elbows get heavy for a moment. Let your forehead sink down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, release. Take it through center, over and off to the other side. Stacking your left hand on top of the right hand, letting your elbows get heavy, let your forehead sink down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then when you're ready, walking back through center. And now we're going to start to lift. So keeping the big toes together, we're going to move through this a couple of times. So inhale and just lift your butt away from your heels, but keep your knees as wide as they are. And then exhale, bring your butt back towards your heels. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and bring your butt back towards your heels. Beautiful. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and bring it back. Inhale to come up. Exhale to pull back. Inhale to come up, and now we're going to stay here. If your knees are close together, walk them out wide and swing your toes out to meet. So we're going to get that nice wide base down at our legs. Left hand is going to walk in just slightly so that it's underneath your nose. Right hand's going to reach up to the sky, and then if it feels available, you're going to take that right hand, reach it all the way behind you in towards that left hip crease. So we're just going to tuck it into that left hip, draw the right shoulder back just a little bit more, look up towards the sky, take a nice big breath. If your hand is hooked in your hip crease, go ahead and release it. Swim that hand around and down underneath your nose, and we're going to switch to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up nice and high. And then if it feels available, you're going to take that left hand, reach it behind you, tuck it into the right hip crease, draw the left shoulder up, turn your head, look up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. If your fingers are hooked in that hip crease, go ahead and release. Swim that hand around and down. And now we're going to take both hands out nice and wide, taking one wide down dog here. So curl your toes under, lift your hips up nice and high, push into your heels, take one nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, pick up your heels, lower your knees back down to the ground. And now we're going to take it into a wide puppy pose. So release your toes, keep your knees wide, keep your hands wide, but walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Keeping that wide position, let your chest drop down. So hips are in line with the knees, chest and forehead sink down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully start to bring it up into a tabletop position. So we're going to walk the hands in, walk the knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. And then once you've got yourself there, move right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. And now we're going to move into some circles with the spine and the ribs. So drop your belly, pull your ribs over to one side, circle around, and then over to the other side. And then just smooth those circles out, moving at a depth that works good for you. Beautiful. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then take your circles reverse and go the other way. So we pull the ribs over to the left, round up, over to the right, and drop the belly down, and then just smooth that out. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then as you come back up to a neutral spine, pause for a moment, gaze down between the thumbs. We're going to play around with the eyes of the elbows. So we're going to rotate eyes of the elbows towards the front of the mat, and then rotate them back so eyes of the elbows are facing towards each other. Rotate to the front of the mat, rotate in towards each other. Rotate towards the front of the mat, rotate in towards each other. Two more just like that, just finding a nice gentle rhythm. Beautiful. And then keep the eyes of the elbows rotated in towards each other, and then move into the scapula. So we're going to keep the hips in an even position and the belly pulled in nice and firm. Drop your chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades, push the floor away, round your shoulders just a little bit. Beautiful. Drop your chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades, push the floor away, round your shoulders just slightly. Lovely. One more just like that. Drop the chest, push the floor away, round the shoulders. Nice. And then find a neutral position. We're going to start to find our way into Sphinx pose. So come down, elbows and forearms. You're going to walk your feet towards the back end of your mat. You might choose to pause in a little supported plank there, but then bring your knees down, release your hips, release your toes. And then once you've got your way here, just pause for a second. We're going to wiggle out the tush, make sure your toes and your tops of your feet feel happy. Hands in parallel position, spread your fingers nice and wide. And now we're going to pay attention to the elbows. So elbows stay in a stationary position, but we want to engage. So imagine you're pulling your elbows back towards your ribs to push the forearms into the floor. Draw the shoulder blades together so the chest comes forward slightly. There's a little lift in the heart. Lift your gaze forward slightly, and then just take a nice big breath here. Tune into your low back. If it feels like there's a little too much compression in the low back, draw your tailbone slightly toward your heels just to create a little bit more space in the low back. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to engage the abdominal muscles. So we're going to take our Sphinx and make it a strengthening position. So keeping your arms as they are, we're going to pull the abdominal muscles up and in and try to lift the abdomen away from the floor. So we're going to engage those core muscles and then relax back down. So you might feel the tops of your hips lift up. Pull the abdominal muscles in, pull the abdomen away from the floor. You might feel the tops of your quads or your hips get a little lift, and then release again. Beautiful. Do that one more time. Pull the abdomen in. Feel that engagement in the core muscles. Lovely. And then release nice and slow. We're going to walk the elbows nice and wide. Pause for a second. Just stack your hands. Let your forehead rest. Relax your glutes. Relax your back. Relax the backs of your legs. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And now we're going to keep our hands connected to the forehead. So we're going to keep that nice little touch, and then we're going to lift through the back of the body. So as you keep your hands connected to your forehead, you're going to inhale, lift your head up. So we feel the muscles in the back working. Beautiful. Exhale, soften back down, keeping the hands connected to the forehead. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and lower down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down. Two more to go here. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, and then soften again. Let your forehead rest. Relax your butt, relax your back. Take a big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Lift your head away from your hands. We're going to tuck our hands underneath our bony hip points. So tuck your fingers in underneath those hip bones. And then here, chin can rest on the floor or forehead can rest on the floor, whatever feels more comfortable. I tend to keep my head lifted so I can look at the screen and make sure everybody's got what I'm saying, but you can gaze forward, chin on the ground or forehead, whatever feels more available. We're going to get it into half locust. So give your heels a good soft shake. Relax your glutes as much as you can. And then once you feel like you've got a softer position with the thighs and the glutes, reach through your right toes. Pull the right toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift as high as you like. It doesn't have to be super high, but we just really want to feel that pulling and lengthening away sensation over the lift. Lengthen through the leg as you lower it back down. Once that foot touches down, give your heels a little soft shake. And then we'll take it right over to the other side. Reach through the left toes. Pull the toes away from you. Lengthen as you lift up. Focus on the lengthening over the lift. Lengthen as you lower down. Reach long through the toes. Beautiful. And then once that foot touches down, give both heels a nice soft shake. Release your fingers from underneath your hip points. Bring them alongside the shoulders. We're going to take 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale and lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Now push your way up into a tabletop position. And then we're going to sit back into hero's pose or thunderbolt pose. But if sitting back like this with the heels doesn't feel good to your knees, then maybe you'll just choose to sit into a Sukhasana position. So whatever seat feels really nice and comfortable and safe in your knees. Once you've got your way into a seat, pause for a moment. Close your eyes down. With that belly down position, now that it's free, just take a nice big breath and notice the front of your body. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to roll the chin across the chest and then take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Let it get nice and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Roll the chin back down across the chest and then just make a couple little figure eights here. Just kind of move gently across the back of the neck. Tune in and notice, are you picking up any tension in your jaw or your temples? Can you let your jaw be soft? Can you soften your cheekbones? Take one more little rock of the head side to side, and then pick your head up to a neutral position. We're going to lift back into tabletop, curl the toes under, exhale up to a downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of your legs. And then when you're ready, pick up the heels, lower the knees, come back to tabletop, and then we're going to move into child's pose. So knees together, big toes together, pull your butt back to your heels. So that closer position with the legs, reach long through the fingertips, soften through the back of your neck. Take a moment to just tune into the breath in the back of your body. So notice your shoulder blades, notice your ribs. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, come forward into tabletop. We're going to slide the right leg back, toes curled under, take a few rocks forward and back just to bring a little length into the back of the leg and into the heel. Beautiful. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with your wrists, stay there. Lift your right leg up, just engaging through the quadricep muscles. Flex your foot just a little bit. Imagine you're pushing through the heel. And now we're going to take this leg, just the leg, into an awkward airplane. So we're going to swing the leg out to the right. You can let your toes rotate with you so you get that little external rotation and then bring it right back. But try to keep the rest of your torso as stable as you can. Bring the leg out to the right. Pull it back in. And then we're going to do that one more time. Swing the leg out to the right. Bring it back out behind you nice and long, and then release that foot down to the ground. Take a second, bop your hips a little side to side, make sure everything feels all right. And then we're going to take all of that to the other side. So left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under, rock yourself forward and back. Just bring a little length into the back of the leg. Cool. And then the next time your shoulders come in line with the wrist, stay there, lift the left leg up, flex the foot, push through the heel. And now we're going to take it into that awkward airplane. So swing that leg out to the left and then bring it back in and try to keep your torso as stable as you can. Swing it out to the left, bring it back in. Beautiful. Swing it out to the left, bring it back in, and then release that leg down, come back into your tabletop position, curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back to your heels so they'll stretch the toes to the bottoms of the feet. Take 3 nice big breaths here. When you're ready, lift up into table, keep the toes curled under. We're going to take it right into a hovering table. So pull the knees up just about 2 inches away from the floor, but everything else stays pretty much as it is. Broaden the shoulders, abdominal muscles pulled in slightly, gaze down between your thumbs. Take 1 more breath here. And then we're going to lift from this position into downward facing dog. So lift your hips up nice and high, pedal each leg 1 time, and then look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, make some space for yourself here so you have plenty of room for your torso to dangle. And then if it feels good, just grab hold of your elbows, let your elbows get heavy, relax the back of your neck, let your crown of your head be nice and heavy towards the earth. If it feels available here, you're going to start to find a little gentle sway side to side, just swaying the elbows nicely, tuning in and noticing, how do your feet feel? Do your feet feel solid and anchored on the floor? If your feet feel solid and anchored on the floor, we'll move into a sundial. But if you're feeling like you'd rather stay in this folded dangle position, you might choose to just stay here. Normally we go 3 times one side, 3 times the other side, but this time we're going to alternate, but just be mindful, make sure that you don't get dizzy. So as you inhale, take it over to the right, lift the elbows up and overhead, circle all the way around and down, pause at the bottom, and then we're going to swing it over to the left. Inhale, lift up and overhead. Exhale as you circle down to the right and down. Pause in the center, assess, make sure you're feeling okay. Take it over to the right, lifting up and overhead. Circle down to the left, pause at the bottom. Take it over to the left, up and overhead. Circle over to the right and take it down. Beautiful. Pause for a moment, just make sure everything's still feeling okay. And then we're going to take 1 more time each side. Take it over to the right, up and overhead, circle down to the left. Take it over to the left, circle up and around, and then pause at the bottom, release your fingers, let your fingers touch the ground, feel that grounding sensation, take a nice deep breath in, slow breath out. Cool, and then we're gonna take a super generous bend in the knees and just walk your hands up to your thighs. So hands are gonna come up to the thighs and then you're gonna push into the thighs as you straighten your legs. And then you're finding that half flat back position, walk your hands up even further. So we're gonna find those hip creases. You can adjust your feet as needed if you need to walk your feet closer if that feels more stable, but we're gonna push into that hip crease. So imagine you're doing a little traction, push into the hip crease, reach out through the crown of your head, reach as long through the crown of your head as you can as you push into the hip crease. Take 1 more breath. And then release that push into the hip crease, bend your knees, rise up to a standing position. And then as you come up, just give yourself a second. Get yourself all situated. Fix your clothes, fix your hair, make sure that your strap or your TheraBand is at the front end of your mat just for easy access. And then once you've got everything arranged, find your mountain pose. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the top of your head. Bring a little energy down into the fingers, down into the arms. And then just take a moment to come back to your breath. Nice, generous inhale. Fill your lungs up. Slow but natural exhale, so you don't need to force the air out, but just let it go naturally. Inhale a nice full breath. Exhale nice and slow. 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Right hand's going to slap up against the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up alongside the ear. Lean over to the right. Take a nice gentle side bend to open up through the left side body. And then when you're ready, release. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, lean over to the left. Beautiful. Lift up with control. Both hands are going to come behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles down, Squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull the arms slightly away from the back of the body, lift your chin, take a nice deep breath in, slow breath out. And now we're going to take those knuckles and bring them over to the left hip. So we're going to just kind of tuck them over to that left side and then rearrange your spine. So if we get everything got a little helter skelter, straighten up your back again, but keep those knuckles over to the left. Once you've got all that arranged, drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. So fingers are over to the left, ear is over to the left. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. On your next inhale, lift your head up, release your knuckles and take them over to the other side. So you're going to bring those knuckles over to the right hip, rearrange your spine so you're nice and upright. And then once you feel like you've got that, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, lift your head up, release your knuckles from the hip, draw the knuckles down towards the heels, pull the arms away from the back of the body, open the chest, lift your chin, take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. And then release your hands to your low back, unlace your fingers, shift your weight over to your left foot. We're just going to pick the right knee up, see where your balance is at this morning. And that way, when we get to our flow and we're working towards our balance, if you want to use a support system, a wall or a chair, you'll know that that's available. Set that right foot down, shift your weight over to your right foot, pick your left leg up. Nothing fancy, just see where your balance is at this morning. One side might be totally different than the other, so you just know you want to make sure that you support yourself. Set your foot down and then find your mountain pose again. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, just whatever feels good to you here. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And then just make sure that your legs feel solid and strong and the weight is evenly distributed between both legs. Then you're going to pull energy up from the feet, up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips, gaze forward, nice and strong. Take a nice big breath. Cool. And then we're going to take it from peaceful warrior into side angle. So we're going to drop the backhand, lift the top hand up, get a little opening through the side body, and then stay strong through the side body. Drop the left elbow to the right knee. Right hand is going to reach up alongside the ear. Beautiful. Lift up into your peaceful warrior. Drop the backhand, reach the front hand up. Bring that left elbow down to the knee. Right hand extends up. Stay strong through the side body. So let the side body support you. Lift up, take it into your peaceful warrior. Beautiful. Bring it down into your side angle. And then we're going to lift up into our warrior two, reach through the fingers, gaze forward. Nice. And now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Spin the hands around, pivot your back heel, float through a runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath, and then plant the palms, step back to plank. Beautiful. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug the elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Either power up to a plank or take it to a tabletop position, and then find your way up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. And then just take a second here to make sure your legs feel solid, everything feels good. Draw energy up from the soles of the feet, up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips, gaze forward nice and strong. Beautiful. And then take it into your peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to that hand as you lift, and then release to your side angle. Elbow to the knee, left hand reaches up alongside the ear. Use your side body to help lift you up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches for that peaceful warrior. Release that right elbow to the knee, left hand reaches up. Beautiful. One more time like that. Lift up, peaceful warrior. Right elbow to the knee, left hand reaches up. And then lift up into your warrior two, gaze forward, take a breath. Spin your hands down to the ground, pivot on your back heel, find your runner's lunge, gaze forward, take a breath here. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Pause in your plank for a moment just to find that strength. And then when you're ready, release your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug elbows into ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down, and then either power up to a plank or take it into a tabletop position, and then find your way up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. We're going to take our first light balance here. So shift your weight over to your left foot. Start by just picking your right heel up. This might be enough for you. If it feels good, you're going to pick the knee up, and then we're going to reach across. So left hand is going to reach towards that right knee, and then you're going to think about pushing your knee slightly into your hand and your hand into your knee. That's going to just solidify that position there. And then if you like, right hand's going to reach forward, and then you're going to open into a light little twist. Start by just turning out to the side. See how that feels. Catch your balance. And then if it feels available, you're going to reach a little bit further. Reaching back, finding a twist, opening up into a position that works good for you. Bring it back slowly, pause at that side position. And then if you can, bring it all the way forward. Release everything down, take a second, shake it all out, let it all go. And then once you feel like you've gotten it all wiggled out, take your weight over to your right foot, pick your left knee up. You might choose to just keep the big toe on the ground. That might be enough. But if it feels good to lift up, then we're going to make that leg nice and solid. Right hand's going to reach across. Think about pushing your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. So we solidify that position. Left hand is going to reach forward. And now we're going to start to open up. Reach that left hand out nice and wide to the left. Your gaze is going to follow. Pause in that sideways position. Catch your balance. And then if it feels available, rotate just a little bit further. Awesome. When you feel ready, release that sideways position, pause, catch your balance, and then release it all the way forward. Release your hand hold, set that foot down, and then give it all a good shake. Wiggle it all out. Wiggle out your toes, wiggle out your ankles, give your arms a little jelly action. Just let go of. Sometimes when we try to hold on to balance, we pick up a bunch of tension in the body. So sometimes it feels good to just move. Let it all go. So come back to mountain pose at the top of your mat. Reach up through the crown of your head. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to take 3 lifts of the heels here. So inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. And if you have your yoga strap or your TheraBand on the ground in front of you, you're going to grab hold of it, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Take your yoga strap or your TheraBand behind you, palms facing backwards. We're going to get a little space here, and we're going to do our shoulder over. So make sure there's plenty of space for your shoulders to freely move. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist. Fold over and let your arms fall away from the back of the body. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Let your hands come towards your low back, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow, set that strap down, but at the front of your mat, so we'll be able to access it again after we finish this next little flow. Find your mountain pose, anchor into your feet. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand is gonna pick you up. Beautiful. We're going to take one peaceful warrior here. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, open through that left side body, take a nice big breath. And then lift back up into your warrior two. We're going to straighten the front leg, pivot both toes out to the side. From the side position, we're going to start with little mini dips of the knees. So just start to feel out your knees and then see if it feels better, if you have more range of motion, to externally rotate your toes. If it feels better to externally rotate your toes, take a moment to do that so you can just go a little bit deeper with these side lunges. Nice. Keep your arms nice and wide, reaching energetically out through the fingertips. Keep your legs nice and engaged. Awesome. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, we're going to take it into a light fold. So soften your knees, hinge from your waist, fold your hands down to the ground. And then once your hands are down on the ground, come back to those lunges, but see if you can go a little bit deeper with the support of your hands. So you might feel a little stretch through the inner thigh and a lot of strength in your quads to help you move you from side to side. Take one more bend side to side. And then as you come back to center, straighten your legs as much as you can. You can readjust your feet to a position that feels good. Palms on the ground. Think about halfway lift. So press into your palms, a little lift of your gaze, straighten your back. And then as you exhale, soften that position. Soften the crown of your head, soften your elbows. Let your torso just dangle here nice and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. From this low position, we're going to pivot our feet and walk ourselves to a runner's lunge at the top of our mat. So walk your hands around, pivot your feet, bend your front knee, rotate that back heel. Beautiful. Once you're there, pause for a moment, take a breath, and then plant your palms, step back to plank. Nice. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Inhale, lift your heart up. If it feels good, you'll exhale up to down dog, but you can also take it through a table and then find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, grab your yoga strap or your TheraBand, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up, taking your strap with you. And we're going to stay balanced just on the right foot. So we're going to use our TheraBand or our strap in a little loop so that we can place our foot into that little loop. So we're going to pick the foot up, catch hold of the foot. And then once you feel like you're there, take a few just bends and straightens, bringing the leg out in front of you and releasing it. And then just see where your balance is at here. And if you want to do the work, but your balance is off, you might choose to just place your hip up against a wall so you have that little extra support. But once you feel like you're getting the hang of it, if things are feeling good, the next time you straighten that foot out, you're going to hold both ends of your strap, same hand, same foot. So right foot is out, right hand is going to hold both ends. Get just a little bit taller here. Left hand can do whatever it likes. And you're going to swing that right leg out to the side, just as wide as feels good. Pause for a moment. And then when you feel ready, swing that leg back in with a bit of control. Bend your knee, release your foot from your strap, set it down, shake it out, set your strap down onto the ground, come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. One peaceful warrior here. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Bring it back to that warrior two position. And then straighten the front leg, pivot both toes out to the left side of your mat. Take those light bends of the knees and then ask yourself, does it feel better to externally rotate the toes to create a little space so you can go just a little bit deeper with those lunges. One more time each side. And then as you come back to center, a soft position with the knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground, let your hands find the ground, and then back to those lunges, going just a little bit deeper if you can. And then if it feels really great here, you're going to go into that super wide position and then let the heel pick up. So you're going to take it from one side and then the other, but just make sure that that's something you can control and that your knees feel happy with. If your knees don't love it, don't do it. Take one more time each side. And then as you come to center, if you're in that super low position, lift up. So take it into that wide leg forward fold. Here, we're going to walk the hands through the legs. So past your heels, let your head drop down, just go as far as feels comfortable to you. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. When you're ready, walk your hands forward just a little bit. So we lift that torso. And now we're going to walk around, staying in that low position. Walk yourself around to the front end of your mat. Find your runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to plank. From that plank position, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to Cobra just as high as you like, up to table or downward facing dog from here, whichever you prefer. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Grab your yoga strap or your TheraBand, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to that standing position, roll your shoulders down and back, find your support system if you're using your wall or your chair, but now we're going to take our balance to the left side. So you're going to start by shifting your weight over to the right, pick your left foot up, make your little loop with your band, catch hold of the bottom of the foot. Take a few bends and straightens of that leg, and then you'll see where your balance is at here. So if you need a little support on this side, you might choose to take a moment to reposition yourself. And then if all is feeling good, the next time you push that heel forward, switch both ends of your strap into that hand. So same hand, same foot. Right hand can do whatever it likes. We're going to swing that leg out to the left just as wide as feels good. Bring it back in with a bit of control. Bend that knee, release that foot from your strap, set it down, give everything a nice little soft wiggle. Toss your strap down to the other end of your mat so we'll have access to it as we come down to the ground. Find your mountain pose again. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position. We're going to go into cow face prep pose. So we're going to send the right leg out, take your left toes over to the right side of your mat, tuck your right knee behind the left. So knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite direction. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Come forward. As you pull your butt back to your heels this time, turn your head to the right. Inhale as you come forward, head comes back to neutral. Exhale, pull your butt back to your heels, turn your head to the left. Inhale, come forward, head comes to neutral. Unwind your legs, and we're going to take it right to the other side. Left leg is going to extend out. Swing your right toes over to the left. Tuck your left knee behind the right knee, so knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite directions. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Come forward. As you pull your butt back to your heels, turn your head to the left. Inhale, come forward. As you pull your butt back to your heels, exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale to come forward. Beautiful. Unlace your legs. And then from here, we're just going to spin the legs out to one side, sit back onto your butt, flip your legs around, and then we're going to take 3 reverse tables before we find our way down to the ground. So if you like, step your feet in so your feet are good and solid on the ground, hands alongside the hips, fingertips pointing in to start, and then you'll readjust your hands for your shoulders. So press into your palms, press into your feet, and start with just a light lift. So just barely lift your butt off the ground. Notice how this feels in your wrists. Notice how it feels in your shoulders. Set your butt down, readjust anything that you need to. And then once you feel like you're there, hands on the ground, push into your feet, lift your butt up. Maybe you come a little bit higher this time. And then when you're ready, release. Readjust anything that you need to, or just give your wrist a little wiggle. And then once you feel ready, hands on the ground, push into your feet, lift your butt up, come just as high as feels right for you. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release your butt down to the ground, release your hands, curl your tailbone under, roll your way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, give yourself a second. Readjust your clothes, readjust your hair, make sure everything is in a good position. And then once you feel like you're there, we're going to grab hold of our yoga strap or our TheraBand, catching hold of the right foot. We're going to make a little loop so we can catch hold of the bottom of the foot, and then extend your heel up towards the ceiling. Take a really firm handhold of that strap. Push your heel down towards the ground so you feel the muscles in the back of the leg firing on like they're trying to kick that leg down towards the ground. Resist with your arms. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, soften, gently pull the leg in just a little bit so you feel a gentle little stretch through the back of the hamstring. And then release to a fairly neutral position. Hold on to both ends of your strap with your right hand. So same hand, same foot. Left arm is going to open like an anchor. Take that right leg out to the right, just as wide as feels good. Take one big breath. Bring it back up and in with control. Switch your hand hold. So left hand's going to hold both ends of the strap, and we're going to bring it about 45 degrees. So across the midline of the body, just to the point where you feel a little sensation in the IT band or the side of your thigh. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release that leg back to center, bend your knee, unhook your foot, set that foot down. We're taking it right to the other side. Catch hold of the left foot. Get a firm handhold on the ends of your strap, and then push your heel down towards the ground. So you want to feel active and engaged. Arms are going to hold on nice and strong. You're going to feel the back of the leg firing up. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, soften that position, gently draw the leg in just to the point where you feel a little bit of a tug in the back of the leg. Beautiful. And then release to a fairly neutral position, both ends of the strap in your left hand. Take that leg out to the left, just as wide as feels comfortable. And then bring it back in, switch your hand hold, grab both ends with the right hand, bring it about 45 degrees across the body, or just to the point where you feel a little sensation in the side of your left thigh. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring it back in, slowly bend that knee, release your foot from your strap, set your strap off to the side. We're going to toe heel the feet to the outer edges of the mat, take a couple of windshield wipers just to kind of soothe all of that out. If you came across anything around your thighs or your IT band, just give a second to let it all kind of loosen up a little bit. Beautiful. Take one more rock of the knees side to side, and then walk your feet in a little bit closer. We're going to take it into a figure four. So right leg is going to come across the left. Start with a hands-free position. Lift the left leg up. In that hands-free position, keeping that lifted figure four, just wobble your figure four side to side. You can let your arms come out at your sides. You can let your elbows be a little bit of leverage. Anything that just kind of anchors the upper body and allows your legs to move freely. Cool. Take one more little rock side to side. And then we're going to set the left foot down and take it into a little bit knee down twist. So keeping that figure four position, we're going to drop the knees over to the right. So you're going to take that left knee with you. If you get there and you need to release that left knee, if it's a little compromising to the knee, release your foot. But if it feels available, keep the leg on and just tune in and notice that front left hip pocket area. Take a nice deep breath into that space. Slow breath out. On your next inhale, lift your legs back to center, but keep the right leg across the left, or reset it if you unhooked your foot. And now we're going to take this figure four over to the left. So keeping the right leg across the left, drop your right foot over to the left side of your body, and then try to keep your right shoulder anchored on the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Pick the legs back up to center. Now we're going to lift that left leg up, thread your hands through, grab hold of the back of the thigh, gently draw the legs in. Take one good breath here. Beautiful. And then slowly and mindfully release. Step your right foot off the left and then pause for a moment and just notice. Notice how one side might feel a little different than the other. From here, left leg is going to come across the right. We're going to go hands free to start. So lift the right leg up. Just make enough space with your arms so that your legs have plenty of room to move, and wobble that figure four side to side. Wonderful. Take one more little wobble side to side, and then we're going to keep that left leg across the right, but set your right foot down. We're going to start with that knee down twist. We're going to take those knees, drop them over to the left. If that's too much on your knee, you're going to unhook the foot so it doesn't pull too much on the knee, but we want to find and tune into the sensation through the front of the right hip. So hopefully that's where you're finding good sensation. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, bring it up to center, and then exhale, drop it over to the other side. So left foot's going to drop over to the right. Keep your left shoulder anchored on the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale and bring it all back to center, or reset anything that you need to. And now we're going to lift that right leg up, thread the hands through, grabbing the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Draw it into your comfort level. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And as we release, unhook your left foot, send your left foot nice and long, pull your right knee into your chest, give it a light little squeeze, let your left heel come all the way down to the ground. We're going to take supine twist, but super light. We're not going to stay there for long. Take that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Turn your head to the right. Take one good inhale here. Soften with your exhale. Inhale, pull the right knee back into your chest. Bring the left knee into meet. So both knees are going to hug in. Give a light little squeeze and then hold on to your left knee. Send your right leg nice and long. Supine twist to the other side. So take that left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens wide. Head turns to the left if that's available. Take a nice big inhale. Soften on your exhale. Pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into meet, both knees hug into the chest. We're going to take those knees, draw them in circles, go in one direction. Draw your knees in circles, go the other way. And then we're going to release our legs into a tabletop position just to reset the SI before we find our way to our Shavasana. So as you come into that tabletop position, left hand on top of the knee, right hand behind the thigh, we're going to get that opposite push-pull. So right thigh is going to push into the right hand, left knee is going to push into the left palm. So get that opposite push-pull, hold that resistance, take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, soften, release, and take it to the other side. Right hand on top, left hand underneath the thigh, opposite push-pull. So left thigh pushes into the left hand, right knee pushes into the right palm. Hold that resistance. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale and soften. And then release your hand hold, set your feet down onto the ground. Pause for a moment and ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Take a moment to get yourself all cozy and set up. So if you're putting your socks on or your sweater or grab your blanket, do all those little comfort care things. And then find the best position for your body this morning. So you might choose to come to constructive rest to give a little support to the low back. You might choose to take it into Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined cobbler's pose to bring a little bit more space into the hips, or maybe take a more traditional shape, walk your legs long, roll to one side, flip over onto your belly, whatever position works good for you and allows you to find a little stillness. Give a second once you get there to just let your body find its way. Work out all those little wiggles, make sure everything feels fairly comfortable. And then for a moment here, before you do any of that deep quieting down, just notice your breath. Just notice the movement of your breath, the sound of your breath, the depth of your breath. And then can you allow that gentle movement of breath to bring softness into your body? Can you soften your shoulders and your arms? Can you soften your chest, your solar plexus, and your belly? Can you soften your hips, the tops of your thighs, the backs of your calves, your heels and your toes? Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Start by just becoming aware of the floor beneath you. Maybe notice the gentle movement of breath in your body. And then with a focused awareness, just bring your awareness to your right pinky finger. You're just going to give your right pinky finger a little wiggle. And then change your focus over to the left pinky finger. And you're just going to give your left pinky finger a little wiggle. And then focus your awareness down to your right big toe and give your right big toe a little wiggle. And then focus your awareness to your left big toe and give your left big toe a little wiggle. And then start to move the rest of your body, gently reawakening. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your ankles, move your wrists. Take a little bit of time to reawaken. And then once you feel like you've got a good, generous bit of movement going on, take it into your big good morning stretch. Reach your arms up and overhead, reach your legs nice and long. Stretch from fingers to toes, take up a whole bunch of space on your mat. Take a nice big breath back into your body. Awesome. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe you rock to one side, rock and roll up, anything that gets you there, but just make sure it feels soft and supportive to come up to that position. Awesome. And then as you find your way up to that comfortable seated position, give yourself a second. Kind of wiggle into your sits bones, bring your head, your heart, and your hips all in line. Soften your shoulders down. We're going to bring one hand down to the ground, touching the floor, and one hand to the heart. And then once you've found that sort of grounding position, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. Breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. Release that hand that's touching the floor. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head. Gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.